So going back to our Supersend Outbound campaign pre-launch checklist, let's go through what we've completed and what's next. So we set up multiple domains and sender inboxes for Sydney. We turned our warm-up on. We created a sender profile. She's not going to be doing multi-channel outreach just yet, so we will skip the connect LinkedIn and Twitter step. The next thing we're going to work on is our ICP definition and contact list. So let's start defining what your ideal client or customer profiles are. If you can just start by telling me a little bit about your business, just a quick overview of what you do.
So I'm a brand designer and I own a small brand design studio called Studio Rayne. I'm helping typically new business owners or recently launched business owners who want to improve their branding to help them reach additional business goals or better align with the offerings that they have. I currently run this business all on my own. I'm kind of like a freelancer.
I have seen some of your work so far, and I'm excited to help you work with other customers. I sent you over a questionnaire, and today I want to help define your ICP, which is your ideal client profile. And what that really means is not only are we going to define the industry, but also who you're reaching out to, the size of the business, just get as specific as we can on that. You mentioned that you want to reach out to beauty, fashion, wellness and fitness, hospitality, restaurants, mission-driven nonprofits and advocates, and interior design and home goods in the USA.
I also just recently worked with like a general contractor, like construction company doing residential homes. So I feel like that kind of also relates to interior design.
Yeah, for sure. Let me add that. Being more specific will is better. All of your copy will be more targeted if we're as specific as can be in the vertical.
Um,
So let's think about what companies have you worked with that you have social proof that you can provide in that campaign that's relevant to the people that we're reaching out to. Your first email, we want to offer them something that's easy for you and that's beneficial for them. So a quick brand audit, I think that's a great one to offer in your first campaign to all of these clients. So with that in mind, let's think about what verticals you think would be most inclined to do a quick brand audit.
well, going back to your original question, which verticals do I have social proof in?
Mm-hmm.
I have worked with wellness and fitness, mission driven and nonprofits, home improvement with the organizing business that I just did with Gretch. I do feel like not mission driven nonprofits and advocacy are probably going to be more strapped for cash. So even though I've worked with multiple, I don't know that, I want to work with them. I just don't know how eager they will be to spend money on branding if they don't have the budget or funding.
Let's move on to passion. What verticals do you want to reach out to, like first three verticals? Once we actually start building the lists, and we might realize this list doesn't look very good, we can switch it as well.
I'd really love to work with people in the interior design or home goods space, do wellness or fitness, beauty. Another vertical I'm realizing I'm missing here is creative solopreneurs. So photographers or copywriters, like people who are in a similar industry to me who might find value out of my skill set and vice versa. And let's do hospitality as well. I'm thinking general contractors, hospitality, and wellness probably have a good amount just because they typically have like larger scale projects or need bigger budgets anyways to get their hotels or restaurants, things like that open. In terms of like wellness and fitness, I'm thinking about with the profit there, like brick and mortar or places with physical locations where they're holding classes as opposed to like an online fitness coach or something. I think interior design, fashion, and beauty might come next. I would actually put the nonprofits more than the solopreneurs actually, just because some of them have a lot of federal funding depending on like how big they are. They just don't always have a ton of extra money lying around. Speaking from experience with the children's art center, some of my clients are just starting their businesses for the first time and want like a fully developed brand before they start as opposed to doing it on their own. Others might realize years in a business that their branding isn't suited for them and they need to improve it to reflect the quality of like their products or offerings. So I feel like age is a tough one to determine on that end.
I want to show you how we build lists. We use Clay, so I'm going to use Clay to build your lists. Other people use tools like Apollo or Zoom Info or LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Let's open up Clay and let's explore these verticals a little bit in the US and see like what Clay is coming up with. Okay, so let's look through the industries. Let's focus on wellness and fitness first. Health, wellness, and fitness. And then fitness. We're going to add location to the United We do have to think of criteria to like narrow these down. I think we should work on the description, keywords.
Yeah, so yoga, Pilates, like med spa, massage.
Is there anything you don't want to do? Like description word keywords
Yeah,
to exclude?
like gyms. I'm wanting to do more so like intimate feeling, smaller businesses.
Minimum follower count means on LinkedIn.
Let's do like 20.
It's just better to start with a smaller list because you know what you're working with versus like a huge pool. You don't really know if this messaging is working because you're reaching out to companies that are 5 people and 500. So it's better to start with a smaller focused
Yeah.
group. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I also don't want to be offering a free brand audit to 10,000 people.
This is a good list. It's 4,915. That doesn't mean that every single company on this list we would be reaching out to because we're going to use a lot of different AI prompts to further evaluate them. We can make prompts that can help us find your exact type of company you want to reach out to, but I want to show you how this is done so that you're thinking in the way of cold outbounder. So we're starting with wellness and fitness. And so for our notes here, we chose US 2 to 50 employees. And we did health, wellness, and fitness industry. We did yoga, Pilates, med spa, massage, and then with a minimum follower of 20.
I feel like 20 followers isn't that much. If they don't have 20 followers, then they might not really be established or have a budget.
So let's think about like franchises. I think we should exclude franchise.
Yeah, because a lot of times the franchises require them to be branded the same as the parent like company.
I'm trying to think of more things to exclude companies that are most likely not a fit. So I filtered out the franchise word, so it took out 35 just in the description alone, but we can also run that in a prompt. I feel like a company that has like 1 to 5 locations might be more ideal for you. Would you say that?
Yeah, let's just start with 5 because again, we're excluding franchise and 5 could be a franchise. Are we still thinking of exclusions?
Yes, because I want your first campaign to be like exactly who you think your ideal customer is.
It's probably nothing that's publicly owned because that probably indicates that it's like a big company or is in the stock market. I'm looking still privately owned where the owner is invested in the branding and is wanting to better it before it could potentially go public in the first place.
Okay, I feel like that's good. Let's just run a quick prompt on these, and then from there, we will find people. I'm going to open up ChatGPT and I'm just going to talk into it.
This is cool that Clay lets you use AI to further search for companies for you, like scrapes people's websites and stuff.
Clay is so sick. You can do so much with it. I need to redo this because I don't like the output it's giving me. So I'm going to add these as a column. Okay, a lot of these places don't have a physical studio. So maybe we should exclude worldwide. It's like Description does not contain any of worldwide. Maybe we should exclude like online, virtual. Not qualified because these are training courses, international, like we have to be more specific. You get what I'm saying?
You put in the prompt and none of these places of like the 2,500 are qualified?
No, just the first 10 because I don't want to run all of these. It's barely costs anything to run them. But like if we can exclude them a little bit better. See, like I think we should exclude the word online because most places that you want to help Sydney are not online. Like they won't include online in their like company description. Well, we're getting some yeses. Okay, so they are qualified. The company is a holistic wellness brand with a single location in Seattle. It offers a variety of wellness services, including fitness, yoga, and nutrition. They don't have a domain. You probably don't want to reach out to them anyways.